where we uncover the stories they want you to forget. We give voice to the silence, the missing, and the murdered. Because remembrance is resistance. Before the headlines, before the hashtags, before the outrage. There was Sonya Massey. She was a daughter, a mother of three, and someone simply trying to live a peaceful life in Springfield, Illinois, a city known more for Abraham Lincoln than police controversy. But for black women like Sonya, peace in America is a fragile illusion. She was only 36 years old, living in her own apartment, raising her children, and like so many of us just trying to get through the day, paycheck to paycheck, moment to moment. Friends describe her as soft-spoken, quiet, yet present. A woman who kept to herself but wasn't invisible. Her Facebook page was filled with smiling photos, nothing flashy, just everyday joy. Her kids, her life. Her post showed a woman proud of being a mother, proud of surviving. But in America, being black and simply existing is often seen as a threat, whether you're driving, walking home, sitting in your own house, or in Sonya's case, calling for help. Too often that help turns into harm. Too often the narrative becomes non-compliant, resisting, agitated. Too often black women are not seen as victims, they are painted as problems. And that's what makes Sonya's death even more painful, because what began as a call for assistance from her own home ended with Sonya dead on the floor, shot by the very officer who was supposed to protect her. This is not just Sonya's story. This is a pattern, a system, a reality too many of us have to navigate every day, a reality where blackness is criminalized and mental health crises become death sentences. And now we ask, how did this happen? Why was a mother who called for help met with deadly force? And what does justice even look like in a world where this keeps happening? Because Sonya Massey was not just another incident. She was real, she was loved, and her story deserves to be told in full. Stay with us, because we're just getting started. It was a quiet night in Springfield, Illinois, July 6th, 2023. 36-year-old Sonya Massey, a mother and home health aide, had just put her day behind her when she heard something that made her uneasy. Faint noises, a possible intruder. Maybe nothing, but maybe not. So she did what any of us are told to do. She called 911. Her voice was calm, not panicked, but she was concerned. She needed someone to come check it out, and that someone was Deputy Sean Grayson. What happened next has left a permanent stain on Illinois law enforcement. According to official reports and witness testimony, Deputy Grayson entered Sonya's home, but within minutes, she was shot, unarmed, in her own kitchen after calling for help. Grayson would later claim that Sonya appeared agitated, a word that too often gets used when describing black women in distress. But she had no weapon, no criminal record, no reason to pose a threat, and yet she was gunned down, a mother, a caregiver, dead in her own home. What's worse, his body cam was off. It remained off throughout most of the encounter. He only activated it after he shot her, triggering outrage over what many believe was a deliberate attempt to conceal what really happened. The Sangamon County Sheriff's Office initially placed Grayson on administrative leave, but public pressure from community groups and Sonya's family sparked something louder. Protests ignited in Springfield and spread to Chicago and other parts of the Midwest. Activists drew parallels between Sonya's killing and those of Atatiana Jefferson, Breonna Taylor, and countless others, black women who called for help and ended up dead. As the case moved forward, prosecutors charged Sean Grayson with 3 counts of first-degree murder, but in the courtroom, a jury convicted him of second-degree murder, a lesser but still significant charge. The verdict, handed down just last month, which was October, was bittersweet. Justice, maybe, but not full accountability. In the months that followed, Sonya's family was awarded a $10 million settlement from Sangamon County. Illinois lawmakers, facing mounting public pressure, introduced new legislation aimed at reforming police hiring practices, including mandatory psychological screenings and transparency in body cam use. This wasn't just a single tragedy. This was part of a pattern, a devastating reflection of how Black Americans, especially Black women, are too often met with violence after seeking protection. And the trauma runs deep. For every Sonya Massey, there are names we don't even know. Names that never make it to the headlines. Names vanish before we could say them. But Sonya's name still echoes because her story, her life, and her legacy are not just statistics. They are a warning. They are a call to action. And they are a demand that Black lives, especially the lives of Black women, be treated with the same urgency, dignity, and protection that others receive without question. When news of Sonya Massey's death broke, it didn't travel quietly. It exploded across social media timelines, community groups, and national headlines, because this wasn't just a tragedy, it was a pattern. Sonya wasn't armed, she wasn't threatening, she was in her own home calling for help. So how did that call end with her lying lifeless on the floor? For many, especially in Black communities, the answer didn't require much imagination. Attorneys from Ben Crump's office stepped in, signaling this was no ordinary case. The Illinois NAACP issued statements. Civil rights groups demanded transparency, and Sonya's family, through tears, spoke for every Black woman who's been overlooked, unheard, and too often unprotected. She needed help, and she got a bullet. Sean Grayson was arrested. But justice isn't just about a verdict, it's about accountability. It's about change. It's about whether the next Sonya Massey makes it out of her home alive. Sonya Massey didn't deserve to become another hashtag. She didn't deserve to be a cautionary tale. She was a mother, a friend, a neighbor, a life that mattered. But in a country where Black lives are too often seen as threats before they're seen as human, Sonya's story is far too familiar. We've seen it before. Black women, erased in an instant, their voices silenced, their names left echoing in the streets, in courtrooms, and in our memories. And yet, here we are again, fighting to prove that their lives had value, fighting to hold someone, anyone, accountable. The trial may be over, but the wounds, they're still open. So we say her name, we remember her story, and we demand better. Not just for Sonya, but for every Black woman who's been ignored, dismissed, or discarded. Because being forgotten is the second tragedy.